All right. Oopsies. Okay, I think it's actually working now. Okay, all right, finally, goodness sakes. Okay, I'm hooked up, mic'd up, and it's finally going because it would not go. So I don't know what the deal is here. I have other, okay, I have like 3 other videos that I did live, and where are they? Who knows where they are and what happened to them? So you know what? I'm gonna try it again because, of course, my phone said it was almost full. And if not, I will find some storage and I will get some videos up here, okay? Because I'm not going to do this, okay? I am getting videos for you. Hey, I'm Shawna Partlow and I'm a teen relationship coach, and I help parents connect with their teen, okay, so that you can talk about all issues, all right? So, is what we're going to talk about today is anger is not discipline. All right, so I don't know if maybe you even kind of understand even what that even means, but I'm not saying that you don't, because I'm not saying that you're stupid by any means, but sometimes I'm just going to give you some little reactions, okay, to what I am kind of even talking about. All right, so if you have even noticed, okay, in the midst of your disciplining your super fantastic teen, and how maybe angry that you are. Hey, again, you know what? There's no one that can make you more angry than your teenager, right? Right. Unless maybe you're married, sometimes your spouse can make you really angry, but your teenager, you're already thinking of some little scenarios that have just ticked you off. And maybe you're having a really good day, and then your teen did something, and then you're not anymore. So, but anger does not reflect for discipline, okay? Now here, it doesn't mean that you can't be mad, okay? It doesn't mean that you can't be angry. It doesn't mean that you can't have those things, all right? And I have said that in past videos, and I will continue to say that. It doesn't mean that there are not times that you cannot be so mad and angry, all right? Or that you, but that's not disciplining, is it? It's just your reaction, you reacting to a situation. But if you discipline in anger, okay, that's not discipline. And is what you want to do is to think about some things, maybe even think about the last few times that maybe you did discipline your teenager. And you're probably thinking, well, I haven't really had to discipline them for a really long time. Hey, that's great, okay? But it doesn't mean that you don't, okay? And when they make you mad and make you angry, and instead of just being arguing all the time, actually that's actually my thing here is arguing. So it's not anger, okay? It's arguing. Arguing is not discipline. So even I was forgetting what my topic here was. But now that I started saying this again and again, then I'm like, hey, actually, that's not my topic, but this is my topic. It is arguing, all right, is not a form of discipline. But yes, again, okay, you can be mad and angry because when you're arguing, you're generally mad and angry. And when you are arguing, here are some results in that, okay? So one is that in the midst of arguing with your teen, we're actually showing them how to argue. We're showing them how to even communicate, that's responses, that it's okay, that everything should be an argument. And no, it should not be, okay? It doesn't mean sometimes, like I'm saying, that you get upset and that you have maybe a little argument, okay? And you have differences, all right? But if you're using arguing for discipline, sometimes this is how you know that you are, all right? Is because when you do argue, you kind of feel better about it. You're thinking, oh man, I'm going to show them because it's like a feeling that you get, and you feel okay with that, to where it's almost like you feel like you're winning, all right? So your teenager, here's how they feel in that too, okay, is, like I said, one, you're kind of teaching them about arguing, okay, that arguing is okay, that instead of having discussions and talking and just communication, that is the form of communication, is in arguing, all right? And no, that should not be. Another thing for arguing, okay, with your teen is when I just said, kind of like you win. Sometimes your teen will do that, get you so mad. They know that they can get you so mad that you start arguing and then you want to just leave the situation. Just fine. Okay, never mind. And then it's whatever they want to do. If they wanted to do something, you were mad, you were angry, you started arguing, and then you just let them go and do it. Another thing is in the midst of arguing, okay, that you have to have the last word. And sometimes we're teaching our teen that same thing. In arguing, who has the last word? And sometimes we want the last word, so then we get mad because they want the last word too. You always have to have the last word, don't you? You always just have to be saying something. Well, who are they getting that from? Sometimes you know that strong-willed. Sometimes us being strong-willed, your teen is strong-willed, and they get it from us. But it doesn't mean that there has to be a constant argument, okay? And it doesn't mean that you should be using arguing for discipline. And then you're feeling pretty good and you know, like, hey, you know what? That went not well, but then you feel, but then you still feel pretty good about it because you like to argue. You like that. You like the way that makes you feel, to where you feel like almost accomplishing something, okay? So, but arguing, no, is not a form of discipline. Arguing, you need to, yeah, you know, sometimes you just need to zippy the lippy, don't you? Sometimes you need to just shut your own little pie hole and stop talking and just stop saying something. So I remember when my lovely daughter was a teenager, and you know, we were gonna go shopping. So I was like, of course, shopping. Hey, count me in. I was so excited and so happy. Gonna take her shopping because she needed some summer clothes. So we are at the mall going shopping, and she's looking at stuff and I'm looking at stuff, and I'm like, oh, hey, look, this is cute. Do you want to try this on? No. Oh, look at this. How about this over here? No, that's ugly. Why would I want to try that on? That's so ugly. I don't like that. So everything. So I'm like, all right, okay. So then I say to her, hey, if you keep this up, your attitude like this, then we're leaving. Like we're not even gonna go stay shopping. We're leaving. And of course, you know, what'd she do? She tested me, didn't she? She tested me. And she kept on with her attitude. And so then I was like, okay, still, you know, saying the same thing. Well, how about this? This is cute. So instead of staying there and arguing, I said, all right, that's enough. I'm leaving. We're not doing this anymore. I am not shopping. I am not spending any money on you because of your crappy attitude. So then I started to walk out of the store. I'm leaving because, hey, I got to tell you, I was willing and ready to leave her there. We did not live close to the mall, so she was going to have a very long walk. And needless to say, she followed quickly behind me. I'm sorry, Mom, I'm sorry. Well, you know, a little too late, isn't it? Because I already gave you a chance, and I've said it to you a couple times, but I'm not going to sit here in the store and argue. I did not even say anything to her as she's trying to respond. Actually, not even respond. Actually, she's trying to have conversation with me. And I did not say anything. I just kept walking and went straight to the car. She got in, and then, so the silent treatment here, it wasn't so I could have the silent treatment. It was because I did not want to argue. Because if I I'd probably go ninja on her. So I'm like, I'm just going to be quiet. I'm going to be quiet. Maybe I said a few things, you know, but it's like, hey, I am not doing that anymore. And this is what I said, though. I am not buying you anything until your attitude changes. And it wasn't the next day. It wasn't even the ride home, okay, because I needed an attitude change. It was like 6 months, and I'm not even exaggerating that. 6 months before I bought her anything new. And needless to say, she never, ever, ever acted like that again. Hey, because she knew that I meant business. She knew that I was serious. She knew it wasn't just words. She knew that, wow, okay, mom's not going to put up with that crap, because I didn't. It doesn't mean that it was like, you know, that there wasn't struggles in our relationship, but that's why I can do what I'm doing right now, is because of those things that took place with my super fantastic teen, that I can now come to you and help you out a little bit, all right, with your super fantastic team. So is what my point is in that whole conversation is this, that I did not stay there in the situation and just argue. Because how many times do you even see that? You go to the store, you go to maybe the mall, maybe, and a lot of things are done online now, but you can still go somewhere to a game, to a gas station, whatever it is, and you can see parents arguing, right? They're fighting, they're arguing because the teen wants something and the parent is just going to fight and argue, but right there, instead of just like, you know what? No, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. I'm not going to argue with you. And you can say that even at home. I am not going to argue with you. This is the way it is. This is how it has to be. But it doesn't mean that it's something to get your way. All right? It's something because, okay, in that situation, no, her attitude was crappy. And I was not going to spend lots of money on her so she could have this crappy attitude and treat me like dirt and then just expect me to do whatever she wanted. So, like I said, she never acted like that again. But again, I did not engage in an argument. I said it, I meant it, I followed through, and that was end of story. And she never did it again. Okay, so it's the same thing. If there's a situation, you say it, you say what you mean, you follow through, but it has to be, of course, realistic. So instead of just arguing, and you're using that for discipline, or you're using that to get your way, that's not healthy. That's not right, and you should not be doing that, okay? Like I said, hey, teenagers make you mad, and they tick you off, and sometimes that's just your reaction, that's how you feel. Hey, I totally get it, I understand. I can still remember those feelings, and that was, that wasn't just yesterday, but it's because those feelings are real. Those feelings are feelings that, when you start talking about it, that you can remember how it was when you were in that situation. So instead of using arguing as discipline, you think of other ways for discipline, all right? And maybe you don't have a lot of struggle with your teenager. Maybe they, hey, there's a lot of decent and good teenagers, but sometimes you do need to have conversation with them. And sometimes instead of it being an argument, you just have to calm yourself, think about what you're going to say. And if you are getting so mad and angry, sometimes you just need to leave the room and walk out and just say, hey, you know what? Okay, you stay right here and I'm going to be right back. And you better not move. So however it is you have to handle that you have to hang on and go throw some cold water on yourself, kind of get yourself together so you can have a conversation with your teen, all right? Because especially if everything tends to be an argument, all right, you have to change your own tactic. You have to change how you're responding. You have to even check yourself and to think, why am I getting so mad all the time? Why is it that everything just ticks me off? You need to figure that out for yourself. Why? Why is it that, okay? And yes, like I said, hey, there's no one that can make you more mad than your teenager. There's no one that can make you more angry in the shortest amount of time than your teenager. So I totally understand that and I get it, but don't use that. Don't use the arguing as discipline, okay? And even the anger, okay? Don't even use the anger as discipline. You can be upset, you can be mad, you can be angry, but don't use that for discipline, all right? And as your teen gets older, you don't necessarily have to discipline per se as much, but that doesn't mean that you don't, okay? Hey, they do stuff that they shouldn't be doing because, see, now the difference is the consequences are higher. The consequences are a whole different ballgame. Now, if they do stuff that they shouldn't be doing and they get into trouble and you have a standard, you have a guideline, and hey, they're not following that, all right? You are still the mom, you're still the dad, and you still need to do something about the behavior. So just because they're teenagers, don't think that you don't have the right to do that, okay? And maybe they're 18 and they're still in your home. Hey, guess what? They're still 18 and they're still living in your home and they might still be in high school. So yeah, you do have a right to do that. And still parent them, all right? And hey, if you're getting any value out of this, you can still hit like, all right, even though this is live, and you can hit subscribe, okay? So I hope that this is going to post. I hope it's going to go on, like I said, because I had 3 other videos that I had done live and none of them went on. But, and hey, if there's other videos that you would like to see me do to help you out, you can let me know. You can message me, you can reply, you can put something in the chat right in this video as well. And again, hey, I do want to say thanks for watching, but I do again want to say with discipline, all right, don't be afraid to discipline your teenager. Don't think that you can't and don't think that you shouldn't because, well, okay, well, you know, they're old now and they don't need any discipline because, yeah, they do, all right? And the reason why is because, hey, they're about to, you know, as they get older, right, like I said, they grow up and they're going to be into society. They cannot live and think that, wow, I can do whatever I want and there's nothing that's ever going to happen to me. So, hey, this is pretty cool. This is pretty good because my parents never did anything. My parents never disciplined me, or the only time, and when they did, they just argued or they yelled. So, you know, they just learned to block out discipline and block out anything that was so-called discipline. Because that's not how the real world is. That's not how life really is. And you do want to train them up in the way they should go, right? So that they can be productive citizens in society and healthy in society, all right? Not just thinking that everything just goes their way and they get their way and it doesn't matter how things are because they always get their way. So you don't want to be training them up in that mindset and that thought processing, okay? You do need to talk with your teen. You do need to even change maybe the way that you talk with your teen, okay? So if you find yourself that you're angry a lot or you find yourself that you are arguing a lot, take a deep breath, step back and think about what is making you so angry. Think about what is just what you're arguing about. Okay, do you really need to be arguing about that? You know, do you? So really think about those things because, hey, you're the adult here, okay? You're the big person in the room and you're the one that's leading by example. And that is continuing, okay? So that's something just to always be remembering that, all right? So I think that's all I want to say about that right now. Hey, there's more videos to come here, okay? I have more videos, and even though hopefully, like I said, this one's going to post, and I'm going to be making some other videos, going to be making some, I have a video that I'm going to be bringing out here pretty soon, okay, on a dad alert, and I also have something that I think I want to do for moms, and you'll have to let me know what you think about this title. Like a dad alert, and then mom moments. Tell me what you think about that, okay? Do you like that title for mom moments? And then I give specific videos for like mom, all right? So let me know what you think about that. And you can even, hey, give a thumbs up to this video if you like it, all right? So I think that's gonna be it for right now, everybody. And hey, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video, okay? Now, let me see if I remember how to turn this off. All right. Hey.